a reminder. This is one of the deepest teachings on the planet that would save us from trillions of years of fucking karma and heartache and suffering. Therefore, it is the most obfuscated and occulted understanding to get. Insight. It's not an understanding. It's an insight. It is this. I'm going to use Joy, who's here with me, as an example. She's a good-hearted person. Many of us good-hearted people, when we see a homeless person or a stray dog or suffering on TV or the Mexico City children going through the giant garbage pit, our hearts go out to them, is how we say it. Here's the thing, that it can be misused. When we're seeing something, that it is our reaction to what we're seeing. Basic Freudian projection, like a projector. You are projecting something on the wall. Now that triggers our belief systems. You see a picture of some children in Africa, and most Western people go, "Oh, they're suffering." How do you know? Maybe they're happy as clams, happier than us. In fact, studies show that poor people tend to have a happier index than wealthy people. And less developed cultures have a better happy index, satisfied index. They're living more in the moment. So we are sending mechanisms. We are receiving and sending antennas. Your spinal column, your heart, your plexuses, your solar plexus, your heart plexus, your throat plexus, your third eye plexus, your root chakra plexus. These are fountains, if you will. Like imagine energy, like layers of energy coming off of them, or fountaining. So when we have a certain energy in us, if it's grief and sadness of, look at those poor people, we are actually sending that energy out into the collective human soup. Now, this does not mean that you don't feel your compassionate heart, but you do what Jesus said, wise as serpents and still gentle as doves. Gentle as doves, compassionate heart. The wise as serpents part is, show me, God, how you see this. And what would you do here, if anything? Because the suffering is a bottomless pit on earth. If you don't change the hole in the bucket, if you don't change the spewing cancer coming out of your energy field, you can temporarily imagine cancer, which is a rip tear in the energy field, in the energy body. It keeps producing this static, crazy energy that crazy cells grow around, or the cells grow on the scaffolding of the crazy rip tear in the inner body. If you don't heal the tear, you can keep cutting that tumor away, but it doesn't heal it. The way you heal it is you need to heal the pattern. Otherwise the pattern will keep regrowing that crap. Same with us. So our projection sometimes is not accurate. It's not how God sees it. That dog is happier than a clam. Of course there's other times you need to rescue the dogs. Same with people. But you need to learn to discern. Now imagine this. The Spirit whispered this in my ear as I was feeling this. Imagine if God, Source, Father, Mother, call it what you want, looked down upon the earth, felt the whole earth, like Mother Earth does 24/7. She's feeling the whole earth and every creature on top of it, or in it and around it, the inner earth, everything. Imagine if she felt huge grief and sadness every time, all the time, for all us people on the earth. She'd go, oh my God, they're so suffering. Look how difficult it is for them. It's so terrible. What would happen if Mother Earth was projecting that onto her creation all day long? It would become real. We would all suffer immensely. Why? Because she's the goddess in this case. A teacher not too long ago, 2,000 years is nothing, said, don't you know that you are gods? So be careful what flavor of emotions and energy you're putting into the soup of humanity, the collective consciousness. Now, I haven't gotten to the half-truth yet, and I'm about to. That does not mean you stop emoting or feeling your emotions. In fact, you need to get real to heal, to have your emotions move, energy and motion. You need to have the energy and motion, and you need to have the intention. It's the unconscious emotion. If you're doing bleeding heart, unconscious emotion, I want to save all the cats in the universe. That turns into the cat lady, stinking piece of shit, horrible, toxic mess. Cat lady being conscious goes, I'm having this feeling of, it hurts my heart that these little creatures, these kittens, don't have a place to go. Be conscious, feel the feeling, don't repress it. In fact, breathe your feeling, is what I'm calling it lately for people. And allow that feeling to transmute, change, shift, at the same time as you're honestly feeling the feeling, being real to heal. You are also saying, show me the wisdom, the wise as serpent's part, and heal me. Let me see it from God's point of view, from the Tao's point of view, from Source's point of view. And show me what's the most effective, elegant. If elegance means effective and beautiful, efficient and beautiful at the same time. So, the biggest half-truth in the world here, and often we fool ourselves into thinking, oh, I'm a heartful person. I care about everyone. You're really toxifying the world because your unconscious projection is sowing suffering. It's the suffering. It's the Buddhist thing. The Buddhists have fallen for this. It's all suffering. Well, as you project, so you create. As you project, so you create. This does not mean you repress or you remove or detach. See, the trick here is you feel the feeling, whatever triggers you. Trust your triggers. Breathe your feeling. Allow it to move. But with the intention of, I want this alchemized, alchemyenergyprocess.com, the second major healing tool I work with. First one is innerbodyawakening.com. Start with that. If you don't feel your energies, you're just fantasizing. If you're not actually grounded, you can't alchemize anything. Then after that, alchemyenergyprocess.com. So the half-truth is that so we can get trapped in the bleeding heart by, oh, I want to rescue them and save them all. It's a bottomless pit. Unless you fix the progenitor, the thing that's creating all the sick babies or lemmings, in a fallen natural world, we've affected nature. Animals in their natural state, if the sons and daughters are awake, we don't pollute the natural world. The way it is now, we've polluted the natural world. The natural world is fallen also. That's why you'll have scriptures say things like, all of nature is waiting upon the sons and daughters of God to wake up. I think it's in the Bible somewhere. Why? Because once we wake up, nature's been waiting for us. And then, then the leopard shall lay down with the lamb. As it says. It doesn't say the lion shall lay down with the lamb anymore. Yeah, whatever. Is that the Mandela effect? Yeah, maybe so. So the key here is you feel your feelings, you breathe your feelings, but you don't go into the program. Ask how Source sees it. Make me an instrument of your vision, of your compassion, Source. St. Francis says, make me an instrument of your peace. So you don't repress it. You allow it to surface, get real to heal. Exactly. But you breathe your feelings and you make sure your intention is, show me the wisdom here. Wise as serpents, meaning why is it called that? Because Jesus knows that the most fundamental energy is the reptilian energy in your brain and your spinal column. That's your brain, when the embryo first forms in any mammal, the reptilian brain, which is the first thing on top of the spinal column, the first layer, is basically the most fundamental. So, and that's where your gut instinct is. That's where your instincts are, and that's the snake. That's why you can't fool a snake. You fool dogs, pretty well. Cats are harder. Snakes you can't fool at all. If they're a wild animal, you can't fool them. Either your energy is pure or it's not. All right. So let's see if that worked. So when you feel your feelings, if you're projecting, oh, suffering, oh, look how bad that is, that's horrible. Well, don't make it horrible. You're making it horrible. If God and Father, Mother, Source, God, if they look on earth and go, oh, look how horrible it is for the humans, it becomes horrible. Why? Because the Tao, God, Father, Mother, Source, is a huge creator. So as they see it, so it becomes. So if you see it as suffering and my child is stupid, as you see them, what you picture them, what you imagine, image in, is what you create. So projecting, oh, look how horrible that suffering animal is. How do you know? Some of them are. Some of them aren't. Learn to discern. Look at those poor suffering black babies. They're having a great time. 4 or 5-year-old singing, laughing. Yeah, they get fed every day. There's no. Okay, we could help them with some free energy and better water and stuff like that. Absolutely. But don't project your suffering into the human soup. Imagine the soup. You're dropping toxic crap in the soup. It's not good. Be honest with your toxicity. Get it out, though. Get it out, and once you do it in a conscious way, you stop sending it. You don't keep it going, like, an addiction. And Mother Earth knows how to transmute that stuff. But if we keep generating, because we are the gods, don't you know you're gods? You're the creator. If we keep generating suffering, or keep generating, I don't know, Trump is the fascist, or Hillary is a wicked witch, or, America sucks, or capitalism is evil, or the libtards are stupid, or the snowflake, if we project on them, it's a fine line. Learn to discern. Seeing what is, but don't add to the problem with your projection. It's a deep half-truth. But, oh, I'm a caring person. I can't even drive by anyone on the freeway without stopping and helping them. Really? You're programmed. You're not intuitive. When Joy and I first met, it was a story of a woman on the west side of town that was doing her church obligation. I'm here to serve the least of these. And she was doing it out of obligation, my church obligation. She'd go around and bring food to less fortunate people. Well, one of these less fortunate people was a couple that had kids that were also meth addicts and meth dealers, and they would actually make it. Well, one day when this woman showed up to give her, hi, I'm from the Baptist church, the local, whatever it was. I'm here to bring you your food because I'm doing my Christian duty. The husband raped her while the wife watched, repeatedly. Then they killed her, dismembered her, and buried her in the backyard. Now, was she being intuitive or listening to her angels or her guidance? Obviously not. It was a program. It wasn't in the moment. What would the Tao do here? Show me what you would do, Jesus. What would Jesus do? What would God do? The real ones, not the program stuff. See, she was thinking she was following Jesus, but she wasn't really listening to Jesus, because Jesus is not going to have her go up there and go through that torture. Her angels were probably screaming at her, going, don't go to the door. But she's like, no, I'm a good religious person, and this is what they tell me to do. Doesn't matter what religion. It could be Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. Doesn't matter. So learning to discern and feeling the real voice of Source, your own inner guidance, your own intuition, the voice of God, the still small voice, Mother, Father, whatever you want to call it, is key. Start with the innerbodyawakening.com. to learn to feel your energies. If you're not grounded, that's the first step. If you don't have a foundation, you're not building a house. You know, it's not going to work. You got to have a foundation. You got to have down to earth. You got to be grounded. The inner body awakening, ancient Shiva technique. Second step is the alchemy energy process, where you learn to alchemize these old traumas, and karmas, the old sins, if you will, the pent-up stuff. And the third thing is the heartenergy.com, where we now, in the new creation, learn to have wise heart. Wise as serpents, gentle as doves, mixed together. Justice, true justice. All right, I encourage you, it's totally doable, but the wake-up calls are going to be coming, screaming at us more and more and more. And if you think you've been I'm a good person, but if you're not intuitive, you're going to get slammed. I'm sorry. You know, and if you're a cold-hearted person, equally, so the over-hearting person, the over-caring, you know, cat lady and human lady that wants to rescue everything, you're going to get slammed. Usually by health problems, things like fibromyalgia, it happens to those people, systemic things. It's generally how that manifests, because no one's going to tell them. Most people won't call them on it, because they're being good. At their funeral, they're such a nice person. We don't understand. Well, God knows in mysterious. No, you can know now. And if you're a selfish prick, you're like, I don't give a shit about anybody else, then your balancing is going to be to learn compassion for other parts of yourself. Over-caring, no good. Too good is no good. Under-caring, not balanced, obviously selfish, not good. There's the middle path. Wise, intuitive as serpents, and still gentle, loving hearts. Set that as your goal, your intent. I want to learn that, Father, Mother, Source. Teach me. It'll save you lots of pain and suffering, let me tell you. You know? Eminem, the rap star, a few years ago, gave a house to his uncle or something, you know. His uncle ended up suing him for the taxes, because we can't even pay the taxes and you gave us the house. So the good-heartedness of Eminem, wanting to share, turns to shit. Because if he had asked God's source would have said, well, they're not really going to appreciate it. They're going to bite the hand that feeds them. So that's how we learn. We learn the hard way, right? Me too, totally. All right, much love. Talk to you more later.